Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio. And now, here's our host, Dr. Vanessa Anceloni.
Welcome, dear listener, to Kardec Radio. We are here in this very special weekend. It's Easter, and I'll share with you why this is so special. It's also special for us. This weekend here at Chantilly, the city of Chantilly, in the state of Virginia, nearby Washington, D.C., and it's beautiful because spring is coming along here. The flowers are blooming everywhere, and we are renewed by it, and that's what Easter is all about. It's about renewal. It's about beginning anew, and it's our opportunity each and every day. But you know, there are times on the earth, in the universe, in which we're more prone, or nature is giving us an extra boost in that regard. And this is the time. Spring is about blooming the beautiful seeds we have selected through the winter of our lives and allowing them to blossom. Do not block them at all, and do not be shy. As Jesus Christ once said, let your light shine, and let us allow it to shine inside of us, releasing feelings that are not pertaining anymore to the renewal. Guilt, shame, remorse, resentment, anger. We can all recycle them and make a new life for us. Yeah, I know it may sound easy, but it's possible. As Divaldo Franco, the Brazilian medium, the most renowned Brazilian medium of the current times, he said to a friend of mine, it is difficult, but it's not impossible. It is possible. Why would we be living here in this life? And today the program is about tools, if I may say this way, techniques that can foster this renewal inside of us, trigger it, sustain and help homeopathy and whole body vibration. We are delighted and very honored that we have here with us Becky Chambers. She just released a book like 6 days ago, as far as I know, a new book, beautifully endorsed by several experts in the field of, you know, the new medicine, if I may say this way. And she wrote this book that can be very, very helpful to all of us. Homeopathy plus whole body vibration, combining two energy medicines ignites healing, by Becky Chambers. Becky Chambers has a beautiful, beautiful story of her own. She's a natural health practitioner specialized in body, mind, spirit therapies of whole body vibration and homeopathy. She's in the Massachusetts area, and she has been one of the leading authorities in the field of whole body vibration. She will tell us more about it, okay? She has researched a lot regarding the scientific advancements on it as well, and brings to us firsthand techniques that can help us live a better life. Why is it important for us to live a better life? Because if you're not well or happy or joyful, the whole world is missing your part of it all. We all need to be happy. Joana de Angelis mentioning to us, we need and have to be happy for the sake of all of us, not only ourselves. It's not selfishness, it's about self-love. Becky is also president and owner of Vibrant Health. She has a Bachelor's of Science Biology degree from the University of Massachusetts, a Master's in Education from Lesley College, and a graduate degree in Natural Health, specializing in homeopathy from Clayton College of Natural Health. She has spent 30 years discovering and learning about these revolutionary therapies and used them to transform her own life as well as help other people. A beautiful soul, if I may say this way. Very easygoing. I talked to her very briefly before the program, and I can feel we are about to begin a beautiful and very therapeutic program as well, because Kardec Radio is here to nourish our souls and to bring good food for our souls and new ideas that can sustain our lives. Hi, Jay. Thank you for being here today. And all of you who are connected to us, remember you can either send us your comment or question to us and to our guest, Becky Chambers, at 858-769-4705. And you can talk directly to her or myself, both of us, or you can go to the Blog Talk Radio chat room at Kardec Radio and answer, relay your comments, questions. It's a beautiful interactive program. All right? For now, we're going to kickstart with a message that our friends Carol Correa and Mark Smith put together. It's a message from the book Living Spring, and the author is Emmanuel, through the hands of the medium Chico Xavier, published by Edisei, and this message is all about renewal. Beautiful in the voice of the sweet and kind Carol Correa, and right now I'm going to release it to you. Soon after that, we're going to open the line to talk to our dear Becky Chambers.
Message from Living Spring. Be born again now. Passage from John 3:3. I tell you the truth. No one can see the kingdom of God unless he is born again. Jesus. Nature holds valuable lessons in this respect. Years pass with mathematical precision. Nevertheless, each day is a new day. Since people have 365 opportunities per year to learn and to start again, how many opportunities for moral renewal will there be in the blessed period of an entire lifetime? Keep what is good and just, beautiful and worthy from the past, but do not hold on to the darkness and detritus, even when they are disguised in enchanting clothing. In your endeavors of true fraternity, do your own share. Do not shoulder your spirit benefactors and friends with it. Each new hour may bring readjustment. If possible, do not put off till later the ties of peace and love you can create now by replacing the heavy shackles of dissatisfaction. It is not easy to break our old preconceptions about the world or open our hearts and forgive those who have hurt us. Nonetheless, the best antidote against the poison of aversion is our goodwill towards those that hate or misunderstand us. While we are holed up in our defensive fortress, our adversary thinks of ways to come up with more ammunition against us. However, if we face the situation fearlessly and calmly, showing a new attitude in the conflict, the idea of peace replaces the dark fermentation of war inside and around us. Has someone offended you? Exercise understanding once more. Has someone misunderstood you? Persevere, demonstrating the best intentions. Revitalize yourself each day in the crystal clear and incessant stream of the good. Do not forget the Master's words. No one can see the kingdom of God unless he is born again. Be born again right now regarding your objectives, resolutions, and attitudes, working to overcome the obstacles around you and anticipating the victory over yourself in due time. It is better to help today than to be helped tomorrow. This message from the Spirit Mentor Emmanuel was psychographed by Francisco Cândido Xavier.
Yes, dear listener, this is the message for today. Easter is all about renewal. It's beyond the religion dissensions. It's about the unity with life, surrender to the flow of life and our inner renewal. Let us trust that the best in us is to blossom. We're supposed to, like nature, because we're nature too, we're supposed to let the energy of love inside of us to flow. We didn't create ourselves. We were created and we are still sustained by love, love of life, and so shall it be. You want to know more about these vibrations that, you know, we are vibrational beings, right? We talk about it at Cardiac Radio very often, and today we have an expert in the field, Becky Chambers. She is one of a few, I tell you, because in the United States, we're yet to conquer, vaster grounds in this regard. And she knows better than us, but Spiritism supports 100% homeopathy. Hahnemann is one of the spirit entities that brought messages publishing the books by Allan Kardec. His daughter also participated in meetings and communicated with Allan Kardec by letters as well. And we understand that according to the disposition of ourselves as spirits living in an incarnate life, we need to immerse ourselves in deeper understanding about the mechanisms of life and thus, inevitably, the ways in which we can find our center again, our vibrational harmony. But, I'm not going to say any more because Becky Chambers is here with us, and she can tell this and much, much more to us. Thank you so much, Becky, for being with us at Cardiac Radio today.
Hi, Vanessa. It's a pleasure. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you. I just want to remind the listeners that today we're going to focus on the most recent book, but not only. The most recent book, Homeopathy, plus whole body vibration, combining two energy medicines, ignites healing by Becky Chambers. And Becky, of all things, what is your story? How did you get to be so a practitioner of a homeopathy and being the leading force of this new technique coined as whole body vibration?
Well, I can tell you it's been a long journey. It's been my entire lifetime has been leading me to this point, and it's not done yet. I'm determined to reach a very wide audience eventually. The whole world needs to know about these incredible methods for helping you heal your energy, which heals your body and your soul and your mind and your emotions and your thoughts, and they are incredibly powerful. Now, how do I know that and feel, why do I feel so passionately about it? Because I spent I spent basically most of my life incredibly ill from many, many different things. Apparently my energy is very sensitive, and it picks up a lot of negative energy that's around me, and I became very, very ill early on. I had 30 years of major depression to start with, and that started from when I was very, very young, just a baby, just a very young child. And then by my 20s, I had developed an eating disorder, and which was went on for 20 years. That was awful. And we're talking chronic major depression along with that. It was not a happy scene. It was really, really, really the depths of where you can go, and completely the opposite of what it should be, right? So then I developed, because my energy was so bad at that point and so out of sync and so vibrating so improperly, not true, I became allergic to everything on the planet. I was called a universal reactor, and I developed joint problems head to toe and nerve problems of all sorts, and all kinds of organ systems became involved and had problems. And I honestly would be dead about 30. When I was by the time I was 30, I was heading towards dying fairly soon, because at that point I couldn't even eat anything, and I was getting infections left and right, and I could not take any drugs. They all made me much worse, because I was just overreacting to everything, and they're toxic, actually. You want to stay away from them if you can. So that's when I found homeopathy.
Wow.
And it just had this incredible, dramatic turnaround, and I suddenly, I could see that, oh my gosh, because I didn't grow up believing in energy and knowing anything about it. I grew up Western science, academic upbringing that just did not believe there was any such thing as this, really. And then I had a bladder infection for 6 months, and we tried all kinds of antibiotics, and they didn't work. They only made me worse and sicker, and the doctor was telling me, well, you're probably going to die because it's going to go to your kidneys. You'll have a kidney infection. You'll need a kidney transplant, or you're going to die. And so that's when I tried homeopathy, and the darn thing was gone it just started getting better almost immediately. And then was within like a day or two. And then it was gone completely within a week. And I didn't get another one for 15 years, where before that I'd been getting them twice a year for 6 months. So that was like this big watershed moment for me, where I realized that there is something going on in the world and with homeopathy that I know nothing about that is incredibly powerful. So got very excited, and honestly, my poor health has been part of what has driven me to continue to explore and study and just focus so intensely on this, because it was the most effective, powerful way of healing. And what was fascinating to me is it wasn't just my physical health that was getting better, but my emotional. It was all completely linked to my emotional and psychological state, and that was healing also. I had spent 30 years trying to not be depressed, because, you're not supposed to. It doesn't go over very well. You don't get very far in this world if you're totally miserable all the time.
Yeah.
So suddenly I was changing. And, this spark inside of me that I'd never seen before was appearing. And there was actually a real personality in there that I liked, which you couldn't see before. So it's just been growing and growing since then. And my health is fantastic now. My emotional state, I'm so resilient, and I wouldn't say I'm happy every minute of the day, because, things happen, but I bounce back, and I have great resilience and great love. There's lots of love and joy and peace in my life. It's been a huge growing experience. It's not always easy, you kind of go up and down, but it's overall, this becomes this huge arc upwards, and I want to share that with the world. People need it. There's a lot of unhappy, a lot of pain and suffering out there, and this is a huge way to help yourself.
Exactly. And you talked about depression, and it's the disease of the current times. It's shocking. Every day there are more and more people closer to us, etc., who are really dysfunctional because of the limiting conditions of depression. So you're saying that homeopathy can surely help people with emotional issues and depression, mental illnesses.
There are ways to sort of immediately alleviate depression. using homeopathy, and also whole body vibration, which has enormous ability to help with depression. It actually raises serotonin levels almost instantly when you're on there. 1 or 2 minutes, and you're suddenly in a better mood and sleeping better and more motivated and everything all day and the next day. It's amazing.
Okay, but I have a question.
Homeopathy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but for those who are listening to us and are not familiar with homeopathy or whole vibration, many people, when I talk about homeopathy, they think it's like herbal things, and it's not.
Right. You're right. A lot of people think that. No, homeopathy is really, it's closer to like acupuncture than it is to herbal supplements and nutritional supplements, because it's energy medicine. Now, it is received and given to you in the form of little tiny pellets or like a liquid, like a water preparation, but it's really energy medicine. It's delivering an energy wavelength which has to be matched perfectly with the person. That's what makes it a little bit tricky. There's many, many different homeopathic remedies, and you need to choose the one that's resonating with the person and their energy wavelengths already, right? Because everybody has energy wavelengths that they're vibrating to, and they're producing, actually. It's your thoughts and your emotions produce enormously powerful energy waves, and you can see that on an MRI. Science these days can actually measure it and see it, the energy wavelengths coming out of your body and your brain, which is producing a great, powerful amount of them. So you need to match the homeopathic remedy with the person just right, and then when you do get that resonating energy waves, you can get an enormous effect in the physical world, just like when a singer hits the right note and a glass shatters, right? That's pure energy effect, but the physical world changed dramatically, and that's what homeopathy is about. So everything can change.
Yeah, that's interesting. But whole body vibration, what is the definition of this?
Yeah, that's really quite different, actually, although it also works on an energy level. Whole body vibration is a mechanical vibration. It's a plate that you stand on, which is physically moving in the physical world. It's vibrating, and you stand on that, that vibration, that physical vibration, will affect you on the body, mind, and spirit level, energy level. So on the physical level, it's fairly obvious. It's going to activate all your nerve neurons, shooting messages into your brain, just lighting up your brain, a huge stimulation of your brain, which is terrific and fantastic for your brain. And that's why that it has such a powerful effect on your brain, is why serotonin levels go up so fast. Serotonin is sort of an antidepressant molecule in your brain, natural molecule in your brain, that all the antidepressant drugs target that serotonin and try to increase its effect. So it's a natural way of increasing serotonin very powerfully and quickly. But and it's actually even a workout, these vibration machines, because it's causing all your muscle fibers to tense and relax, and 10 minutes gives you the benefits of an hour of conventional weight training. Well, gosh, that's great, So then you're losing weight, and your muscles are getting stronger, and your bones are getting more dense, and that makes everybody happy, and you didn't even have to do more than spend 10 minutes, right? Okay. But on the energy level, it's really, really exciting, too, because what happens is whenever a person or a being, doesn't have to be a person like an animal, but any being stands on this plate, their body is like a liquid crystal. It's a highly organized molecular structure. And all crystals have a property called piezoelectricity, which is the ability to turn mechanical vibration into electromagnetic energy. So you stand on that plate and you're instantly turning that mechanical vibration into the exact electromagnetic energy frequencies that you need to heal your body. You're doing it. And that way it's completely specific and individual for everybody, but perfectly tuned for you. So it's a big energy treatment every time you're on there, as well as your mind, your neurons, and your body. Pretty exciting, isn't
it? Yeah, I'm stunned by it because when you talk about the plate, the machine in itself. If you Google it, nowadays you're going to see many fitness apparatuses using that plate as well. So it's for those who are listening to us. Do they need to know, like, if there is a specific brand of this platform that is more recommended because it's so vast?
Very, very good point, Vanessa. Yes. It turns out vibration has such powerful, huge effects on your body, mind, and soul that it is really important to do it properly. Do the right type of vibration. There are lots and lots of different companies making vibration machines. There's a big variety and a big different range of you can if you were to buy one, they can cost anywhere from $150 to $15,000. But great news is the expensive ones are not the best ones. They are not the ones that are best for your brain and your nervous system and your energy field.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it was originally designed and developed for Olympic athletes and cosmonauts in Russia, and it is sold now and known mostly for its physical effects. It's incredible. 10 minutes equals the benefits of an hour of conventional weight training.
Mm-hmm.
So it's made by, a lot of the machines are made, basically most of the machines are made by exercise companies who think more is better, the football mentality.
Yeah.
And that is completely wrong with vibration because it is so powerful. You actually want a gentle vibration that is perfectly synchronized so that it sends perfect synchronization message into your brain. That's very important for brain health.
Mm-hmm.
And you want, specific type of vibration motion. There's different types. This is one of the reasons I wrote the book Whole Body Vibration, The Future of Good Health. That's my first book. And it goes into detail about all the incredible benefits of vibration, and it gives an explanation. It helps you choose the right machine and do vibration properly. Because I'll tell you the truth, I started Whole Body Vibration about 15 years ago, and when I first started, I had the wrong machine. And initially, especially because I'm a very sensitive person, I did well for a couple of months because vibration is so good for you, right? But then the desynchronization effect that was going on in my brain started to really affect my body and cause a lot of problems, and I ended up getting kind of sick from the whole thing. I had to stop vibrating. It took me quite a long time to recover, and honestly, I didn't even fully recover until I found the right type of machine, which was perfectly synchronized vibration. Now, if you go to my website, and I have a website called www.bc, for Becky Chambers, bcvibranthealth.com. And there's all kinds of information on there about vibration and homeopathy and whole body vibration machines, which I recommend certain machines, particular machines, which are really terrific. And yeah, as I said, wonderfully, they are not all that expensive. So that's great because I want lots and lots of people to do this and do it right and get the benefits and feel fabulous.
Yeah, that's wonderful to know. When you talk about whole body vibration, it reminds me of techniques that, for example, I'm not saying it's the same, but the line of thought is to the same direction, in the same of, the healing techniques. You talk about these techniques promoting healing. This is the subtitle of your book. And when you talk about combining them, I was, willing to ask you, why do you say it? Like, when you combine, you ignite healing. Because it's the first time that people it.
Right. It turns out there's a huge interaction between the two methods when you're doing them together. Because I'd been doing homeopathy for probably 20 years when I started doing whole body vibration. And what I found was that I began to need more homeopathy, more remedies. Now, homeopathy is a process that releases negative energy that's stuck in your body, right? And these negative energy, and I had a lot of negative energy, but it gets stored in your body kind of like the layers of an onion skin, how there's many layers, and you can only release the surface one. You can't get to the ones that are below. They're kind of buried and deep and hidden. So the one that's at the surface, you can let go of with a homeopathic remedy. And it turns out that what whole body vibration does is that it helps to bring buried negative energy to the surface more rapidly, so that you can let go of more and more negative energy, becoming much more pure energy and truer vibration, and more truly allowing your soul to shine. So most of us, many people have many layers of negative energy, because every time all kinds of traumas in our life, and we all go through, that's life. You do go through a lot of difficult things in life, and typically that energy will end up stored in your cells, your your body and your mind, in negative thoughts about yourself and feelings and emotions, like I'm not good enough, or I can't do that, or so people, I don't like that, so and so doesn't like me, all kinds of things, or they don't love me, I'm not loved, I'm not lovable, right? And there's usually I would even say, there are many layers to our problems. So letting it almost would look like, well, if you needed more homeopathy, maybe the vibration was making you sick, but no, not at all, actually, because I could see that I was becoming more and more highly functioning, creative, happy, joyful all the time by letting go of all these layers of negative energy. So it's growth. It's allowing you to grow. And the sign of the medical in historical times, and today it's called the catechus, and it's the snake curled around the staff. Snake is the symbol of medicine. This was originally developed way back in Greek times, where they understood this better, that shedding your skin, letting go of the old and the negative, which is what snakes do. As they grow, they have to shed their skins regularly, constantly. And that's what homeopathy helps you do. Let go of that negative layer that's holding you back and grow to the next one.
That's beautiful. That's so, we're talking about this weekend being all about hope, renewal, etc. So it feels so good just listening to that. And in your book, you have cases. You talk about Stella, Betty Lou, Mark, Christy, etc. Would you like to share one of the parts of one of the cases, just so the listener has an idea about your proposal on the combination of these two approaches to healing?
Do you mean just sort of describe one of these people? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just to give an example.
Sure. Well, Betty Lou is a wonderful story. It's just a marvelous story of a person I've known for quite a long time. And when I started working with her, she's just sort of this irrepressible spirit of, with a lot of joy in her. But she had a lot of problems with grief and sadness and illness at one point, because her parents were dying, and there was a sort of a childlike quality to her that was holding her back in life. So she had difficulty growing up and really maturing and becoming an independent person. And when her parents died, that made things even more difficult. So with homeopathy, we were able to let go of the grief first, and then eventually get to sort of what was blocking her from becoming a more independent person and being able to take care of herself better. So she retained and all her joy and irrepressible fun, but was able to take care of herself better and just be a little more mature at times when it was necessary, you know? So that's a wonderful story.
Yes, it is. And, it's interesting because I think people will understand all the more why these techniques are effective and are important to be incorporated when they understand more what you mentioned about our own composition. We understand we're spirits, we're souls connected to a physical body, and we are vibrational beings. We have a spiritual body. Whatever name people give to it, we know there is a more quantic body, a body that is vibrating. And when we talk about healing, we need to have a multidimensional approach. So my question here is for somebody who is listening to us, and for example, has depression, they're experiencing depression. Depression, depending on how it goes, it's characterized as a mental illness. We don't like labels because it's not set on stone. We can always transform ourselves and change it. But if they are listening to us and taking medication, psychiatric medication, but they're not seeing any change, they are not feeling any more vibrant, how would you recommend that they take another step into their own healing? Because stopping the medication by themselves is risky. How would you recommend that they find a better way of healing themselves?
Okay. Well, depression, there are quite a lot of environmental things in our environment and in our lifestyle that are causing low serotonin in people, especially susceptible people. So there are a lot of things you can do with nutrition and exercise and different things along this line that can help raise your serotonin levels quickly and make you feel better, along with the whole body vibration and the homeopathy. So there are just lots of really powerful tools. And sometimes it is important. Sometimes the reason the drugs don't work, first of all, I don't think it's the best approach, but I do understand that people need them. I was on them for a while, and I understand that they really can make a difference and can be very helpful. And I don't recommend people just dropping off of them. That's not a good idea if you need them, right? But you can start to change these lifestyle factors that are causing low serotonin, and you can add in things like homeopathy and whole body vibration that raise serotonin levels. Altogether, you can completely change the whole situation. So you can find out a lot of information at my website. Again, that's that's www.bc for Becky Chambers, bcvibranthealth.com. You can contact me. I do consulting, so I can help you with your specific problem. There's my email and my phone number are on my website. And really, I urge you to take action, because these are solvable problems, and life is vastly, vastly better when it can be vastly better. I know that. I was depressed for 30 years, and I know it's a nightmare. I know it's just incredibly awful, and I kept trying to get better with different methods that weren't working. And these are very powerful methods that I found that finally completely changed the picture for me. So don't give up hope.
Thank you so much for sharing these recommendations. But Becky, when we talk about depression, there is like a diversity of types of depression according to psychiatry. And would you say that for the diversity of its types, there are specific treatments in the that be effective?
Most depression is mediated by this low serotonin problem. And there are many factors that can raise serotonin. Now, one of the things that I love about homeopathy is while there are remedies that can sort of immediately address the low serotonin and help to raise it, It also works on the level of fixing the root cause of why is your serotonin level dropping? Why do you have a weakness in that area and that it happens easily? So it addresses those root causes. So there's different approaches and different levels that we'd be working on. You know what I forgot to say, and I wanted to just mention, with the story of Betty Lou, I was talking about her sort of emotional and psychological state, but I do want to point out that she had a whole bunch of physical problems, which all got better in the process as well. She ended up losing weight, which she had been wanting to do, and she had lung infections and problems and coughing and exhaustion and joint problems, a whole range of things. And her health, her overall health, physical health is much better also by fixing her energy.
Interesting. So, we have a listener, Jay, who is here at Blog Talk Radio chat room, and he talks about getting off of GMO foods. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Energetically, GMO foods are both energetically and physically, they have things that are not good for you. It's a big problem because it's really even hard to know exactly which foods do have GMOs in them because they're not always required to list that aspect. One thing, so I do recommend it if you can do it. One thing I want to point out about fixing your energy with homeopathy and whole body vibration is it makes your body and your energy much, much stronger so that you can live in a world that is not perfect more easily. Because there are all kinds of things around us, and we do our best. Certainly, all kinds of toxins in our environment, and it's great to do some detoxing, which, by the way, whole body vibration is also a very powerful detox, so another benefit right there. But it's sort of impossible to get all the toxins out of your body. And it's impossible to never have any negative energy around you. Sometimes, you're going to walk down the street or you have to people you have to deal with or situations in your life. So it both helps release the energy that's sort of creating those situations, and it makes you much stronger so that you don't have to take in that energy and you don't have to be affected by the imperfections in our world as much.
Be more selective. Well, okay, so we have another listener, Mark Lewis. Thank you so much. Also, Jay, Mark, for participating. He asked the following question to you. Can she comment on whether homeopathy can be an alternative or substitute treatment to traditional treatment if the cost of homeopathy treatment is cheaper than conventional treatment?
Homeopathy is in itself extremely cheap. It's unbelievably inexpensive, which is one of the reasons it did not thrive because, the medical establishment couldn't make a lot of money off of it, and they found drugs that were real easy to prescribe, and they could charge a great deal of money. And so anyway, homeopathy, you can go into any natural health food store these days and buy homeopathic remedies for like $8. And it is, so if you were very knowledgeable, and there's books, there's guides you can buy that will help you figure out which homeopathic remedy you need. So you may find success just doing it that way. And that's extremely inexpensive. Anybody can do it. But using homeopathy is not always that easy. There are many different homeopathic remedies, and really understanding and being able to figure out which one is the best one for a person and at which potency level is what strength to use them is something that takes a lot of experience and knowledge. So I can help people with that, and I'm not that expensive. I think you end up saving a great deal of money in the long run because you don't get like me with the bladder infection. I took one remedy, got rid of this 6-month infection I'd had, and the weakness I had that was causing me to get bladder infections twice a year for 10 years straight. Then I didn't get another one for 15 years. So, I went to that homeopath once. I paid him, what was it, $100 or something to get, and got a remedy which cost $10. And then that was it. I didn't get sick again for 15 years, at least with that problem. I had so many problems that, that I can't say I didn't get sick with any problems. But that's enormously cost effective, right? Plus your quality of life went way up. So, yeah, I think it's the way to go.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I want to share with the listener, as I personally attest, I mentioned off air, and I said this in a previous show somewhere, years ago, when I was 7, I had pneumonia, and it was homeopathic remedies that healed me, and I'm still here. So, and no problems at all. Many people are afraid of possible side effects, Becky, or other things. Should they be concerned about homeopathic side effects or any toxic, levels of its?
You do. Well, first of all, if you go and experiment with what you find at Whole Foods, you're not going to have any problems. Those are low-potency homeopathic remedies, and they're very, very safe, and they're particularly good for sort of acute illnesses like you got a bladder infection or you cut yourself or hurt yourself. And but I would not recommend trying higher potency remedies than you can find at Whole Foods. Like online, you can buy some higher potency remedies. I wouldn't do that. Those remedies are better sometimes, or they're necessary sometimes for more chronic health problems, which a lot of us have chronic health problems. And in that case, you want to find a homeopath who is very experienced and knowledgeable and really has a good understanding and experience with using these higher potency remedies and helping people. Because the higher potency remedies they can cause you to temporarily be worse. It's called an aggravation. So it's because it's resonating with your energy waves, and your energy waves actually get bigger. So it's amplifying your body's attempt to heal itself, which is really your symptoms are your body's attempt to heal itself. So they could temporarily flare up and get a little bit worse, which is okay as long as they're getting better again after that, right? Then it's good. I can put up with something for 24 hours as long as then after that I'm going to get all better. But you do want to make sure you do it properly. If you take a remedy that is too high, too strong, it is possible to make yourself worse for a while, kind of longer term, and you don't want to do that. So work with a homeopath. If you have chronic health problems, I would recommend working with a homeopathic practitioner who is very highly experienced and knowledgeable and trained.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Becky, as we are marching towards the wrap-up of the program today, I know our listeners either live listening to it or later through our podcast and iTunes channels, etc., in more than 100 countries now around the world, may have lots of questions. Can you please repeat your website and your contact, and also share your final message with the listeners at Kardec Radio today, please?
Okay. Well, I would love to hear from everybody. Anybody and everybody. My website is www.bc for Becky Chambers. So that's bcvibranthealth.com. My email and phone number are on there. My email is just Becky at bcvibranthealth.com. And my final message for you all is shine, let your light, your beautiful, bright light shine and you can polish the glass, polish the crystals with homeopathy and whole body vibration, and really get that vibration strong and true, and letting your true beauty shine forth.
That's beautiful. It was a beautiful gift for us to have you here in this very special weekend of this message of renewal and being born again inside of our hearts. So thank you for your beautiful book, for your healing insights, information, and for being there for all of us. Thank you, Becky. We hope to have you more often here at Kardec Radio whenever possible, okay?
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
So, dear listener, what a joy. I know you wanted more, me too, but time is time and we have to wrap up. But, you got the whole information and you hope. If you're listening to us and asking, what is this that we're doing here at Kardec Radio? We are talking about health and spirituality. And, Kardec, in the Gospel According to Spiritism, has a beautiful mediumistic message titled Care for Body and Spirit. Many people who are spiritual around the world, they think, oh, well, I only care about spirit. I can eat whatever because after all, I'm just a soul living in this body. And they don't appreciate the body. With Becky Chambers and her healing proposal, which is according to the new paradigm in medicine. Little by little, we're marching towards a new paradigm in healthcare on the earth. And Becky belongs to that march. She is one of the leading forces as well. So why is this so important? Because without the body, we cannot be here. So blessed is our body. We need to care for it. The illuminated spirits were so wise that Kardec published this message. Care for body and spirit. It's not only about inner transformation, it's also about caring for the body, which also belongs to the inner transformation because we've lived many lives in the past in which we didn't know how to take care of the physical body at all. Now we're learning. How many lives have we lived just abusing the body, enslaving the body? And now in this time on the earth, we're learning what the body really is. A good companion of us. As the Spirit Dr. Andre Luis says, the cells of our physical body, the spiritual body, are like little pets we need to care for. We need to listen to them, be attuned, and help ourselves get, centered and balanced throughout our lives. Because as Becky said, challenges exist. We're okay now, and then challenges are presented to us. We need to find extra help. We are not weak because we need the new medicine or because we need a therapist. We need it because we are growing spiritually, and the physical body is the vessel of this growth. So let us take care of it. Let us appreciate it. Let's love it. And homeopathy, whole body vibration, and much more can certainly be healing tools, if I may say this way, blessed tools to help us sustain this beautiful reincarnation. We come with a lot of baggage from the past, good and, other ones we need to adjust so this medicine can go deep inside of us. Hahnemann was one of the spirit entities that communicated to the mediums at Kardec's time and published beautiful messages like the message Anger in the Gospel According to Spiritism, which was signed by the Spirit Hahnemann. I have no doubt that he did so because he is still living and leading this movement forward. I would like to share here as we wrap up the beautiful comment by a homeopathic friend, a homeopathic spirit doctor who was just listening to Becky Chambers, Dr. Andy Moreira. In 2 weeks, you're going to listen to his own interview And he's not going to talk about homeopathy this time, but he's going to talk about an outreach program in Africa he has been doing as the medical doctor coordinating these efforts. He says here, the spirits say that homeopathy acts on our astral body, and it does help us increase not only immunity and organic responses, but also allow us to clean our mentally emotional environment by changing our vibrations and syntony whenever we use the exact medicine that match our very real nature. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Andrew Moreira, for being with us. He loved the program, and we need, his support as well. And dear listeners, there is much, much good in this world. As he said here, it helps match when it matches the very deep real nature inside of us. So we're very grateful to Dr. Ina Moreira for endorsing our program today as well, if I may say it this way, for the adorable and wise Becky Chambers, who found her healing and now shares the healing. It's beautiful, and we feel loved by feeling her love to her practice, to us, the listeners, and publishing these discoveries with us. She's not keeping to herself alone. And for all of you who are listening to us, who participate, Kardec Radio in this month is going to be 7 days a week. We're preparing new hosts who are going to come along, and we're also going to have Kardec Radio for youth. We have Kardec Radio for kids. Now we're going to have Kardec Radio for youth, health and spirituality, spiritist talks. We have also here the messages of the spirit doctors, Andrea Lewis, spiritist awareness, and much, much more. Hosts from around the world working weekly to help all of us nourish our souls. Aren't you moved by it? I am, and very grateful too. You really make our lives change because you're here constantly with us as well. So wherever you are in this world, whether live listening to us or on demand, I invite you now to wrap up our program as we usually do with a heartfelt, grateful prayer. Okay? Very short, but very deep and profound. It's a way also to reach out to the world and to whomever is in greater need than ourselves right now. Dear Mother, Father God, thank you for showing to us that love is all that is. And that as we evolve on the earth, we can access your love in the health care that we're searching for. Today we especially thank you for sending Becky Chambers and her beautiful story and approach to life and healing, encouraging us to our inner healing. Thank you for these messages that boost new hope inside of all of us. Feeling the sweetness and the kindness of yours permeating our minds and the cells of our bodies. We would like to ask you to kindly multiply these good wishes and these beautiful vibrations of your love, so it can envelop in new health those who are around the world experiencing cruel challenges and need a helping hand. May they feel your maternal, paternal hands sustaining them so they can patiently march towards their recovery. With gratitude, we ask for your permission to wrap up this program today, and so be it. Dear listener, thank you for being with us, Mark Lewis, Jay, and many others, and Dr. Ender Moreira, and especially Becky Chambers for taking her time to share the knowledge and the tools to a new life. In a week from today, we have much more. But meanwhile, what do? Keep feeling the blessings of God, and happy Easter, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Kardec Radio, broadcasting live every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Email us and share your comments at www.kardecradio.com. Until next time, we wish you many blessings.